Interestingly enough, 2017 was the turn of my powerlifting career. I started powerlifting in 2015, 2016, wanted to keep pushing myself, and I felt like I hit a ceiling. And that's when I realized, damn, I think I need to get a new coach. One of the coaches that were at the top of the list was Joey Flex.
Not only a great competitor, he's a really accomplished coach. He's made a lot of national champions in the last 3 years. I'm with Joey Flex.
Having just life experience in general, like have you been through adversity? Have you dealt with things?
Joey Flex was someone that had worked with all-time lifters already. He coached Jesse Norris and handled him into building one of the greatest totals that powerlifting has ever seen. And then he also worked with John Hack. John Hack is revered as one of the best powerlifters of all time, and he was actually able to capture a world title with him. And when I saw that world title, John Hack going up against Brett Gibbs, Owen Hubbard, I was like, I want to be on that stage. I want to be on that platform. So in 2016, going into 2017, I reached out to Joey. We spoke. We did a tune-up meet to kind of figure things out. And in 2017, we won our first national title.
Give them a big round of applause. Looking at these young men, the world should be worried because they're coming next year.
No rapper can rap quite like I can. I take a muscle-bound man and put his face in the sand. Not the last mafioso, I'm an MC cop. Make it say go LL and do the Y. If you think you cannot ride me, yeah boy I bet. Cause I ain't met a motherfucker who can do that yet. Trendsetter, I'm better, my rhymes are good. I got a gold name plate that says I wish you would. And when battle begin then, I gotta join in. And before my rhyme is over, you know I'ma win. Cool J has a rhyme, so you better make way. Ask anybody in the crowd, they say the kid don't play.
So when I first met Russ, I was actually competing at the Arnold and we ran into each other in the restroom. He knew who I was, he was very nice, but I was in the middle of a meet and I could tell that he respected that time. So I went to go do my competition and we didn't really interact after that. The next year, I was at the same competition. We ran into each other again within the next month. He hit me up, took his information, and I had heard of him like a little bit here and there because he was in 83 and I coached 83s and they had mentioned his name a couple times. I didn't really know much about him. I didn't know that he really made content or anything like that. Just the way that we interacted, it was like someone who I'd played sports with before. He got it, right? For those of you that have played football, you know what it means to get it. He just, out the gate, just had a lot of trust in me. From then on, we were able to really just be on the same page with really everything and accomplish our goals. So I think that's what's really allowed us to have such an amazing run like we've had.
2018 Worlds, where I ended up taking my first loss in my powerlifting career, which was crazy because I got smacked. Brett Gibbs absolutely put a big gap between himself and I told myself standing on that platform and on that podium on the second place spot, I said, I don't want to ever feel this fucking embarrassed ever again in my life. And I told Joey that in the back room. And from there, we have just been stringing together wins and I haven't lost since.
Russ is one of the hardest workers I know. No matter what it is, I know that he's willing to move mountains to get it done.
We go to 2019 Worlds. I was able to beat my competition for nationals at 2018, which was able to allow me to qualify for 2019 IPF Worlds, and that's where I came back with a vengeance, PR'd my total by probably, I think, 30 kg, and we were able to secure my first ever IPF title.
Like I said earlier, he takes us on his journey and he shows people sort of behind the scenes of what it means to be a champion, what it means to be, one of the best, if not the best, powerlifter in the world. I think his mark, our mark together on the sport has been, it's very hard to quantify because it completely changed and inspired a generation, in my opinion. The game has forever been changed with Russ here. And I remember this many, many years ago. I asked him something along the lines of like, what are your goals? How do you want to, how far do you want to take this thing? Do you want to do bodybuilding? Like, he said he wanted to leave the space. He wanted to leave it, make a mark and leave the space better than when he came in, and I think absolutely he's done that.
Repeated the process again. 2019 had a really bad meet, but I was still able to secure a national title. Then 2020 was the pandemic year. No IPF Worlds that year, unfortunate, but we were able to come back in 2021 and once again win IPF Worlds and become a two-time world champion powerlifter. Right? I switched federations. So in 2021, I competed at USAPL Raw Nationals, but that wouldn't allow me to qualify for IPF Worlds because it was in a different federation. And did the same thing in 2022. 2023, I actually had to sit out because I didn't want to create this situation where I get suspended and I miss out on the opportunity to compete at Powerlifting American Nationals, which would have allowed me to qualify for IPF Worlds. Obviously did Nationals, I was able to secure a 860 kg total, qualified for IPF Worlds, and now we're sitting here. And it's gonna be crazy because I'm actually looking to become the first ever 3-time world champion in the 83 kg weight class, and that's never been done. And I'm super excited because once again, it's something that is unprecedented in my weight class and something that is unprecedented in the powerlifting community, and I get the opportunity to kind of be the first one to do it, and I'm excited about that. With us being a week out from Worlds, training is looking very, very chill, especially since I was able to have an immaculate, perfect session on Saturday. Saturday was just one of those ones where everything was clicking, and once again, it was very important for me to string together another good session because this whole prep has just been funky. Prepping back-to-back has been something I've never done in my powerlifting career. I was able to put together a session on Saturday that gave me the utmost confidence and has allowed me to relax this entire week. Because I'm only 4 days out from competing. So with me being 4 days out from competing, this whole week has been very, very relaxed off of the session that on Saturday. Saturday we came with it. My boy Jay Nola was actually in the building. He was able to kind of push me, right? Jay has always been someone that has been present in a lot of my big training sessions. We just click on this vibe to where we don't really talk too much. Like we pull up to the gym and he just kind of keeps pushing me, keeps telling me, yo, this is the standard that you want to have every single session if you want to be great. It's like you call yourself this, you call yourself that. Show people in the gym. Like show me right now, show me what you're made of. And Saturday, like I said, it went extremely well. I was able to squat 705 pounds for 3 reps, which was mind-blowing because I was only able to do that for singles, like leading up to that point. And then in that same session, I went on to deadlift 705 pounds for 2 reps, and it was really, really easy. Now, knowing the numbers that I need to hit on the platform, that session was something I needed confidence-wise to kind of just like release all the performance anxiety that I had. Now, I feel like myself once again, and I feel like I'm back in that mode to where I know what I can do, I know what I'm capable of. All I gotta do is just go out there and do it. And Saturday, once again, gave me that confidence. So now I'm just kind of walking around with a different type of swag. Like I feel like I'm me once again. Last full session. Deadlift is one of those weird movements where in some cases, at some body weights, it actually feels better when you lose weight. Like, when I'm heavier, my thighs are bigger, gut's a little bit bigger, so it's a little bit more difficult to get down there. Whenever I drop down in weight, it feels like the path that the bar has to travel is a lot more efficient. And I've been dropping weight like crazy. I'm actually 188, a little bit too light, but that's fine. That just means we get some heat into the meat. I feel so small. I fasted for today's session just because I'm pretty much gonna be fasting whenever I step on the platform. So I just want to feel that feeling of, you know, being somewhat hungry while I'm lifting. Normally, I don't get specific numbers to hit, it's by feeling, but today, it's between 650 and 683. I'm choosing the lesser end of the weight just because how this prep's been going. I've just been feeling really roasted, so I just think that I need like a little slight stimulus, understand the movement pattern, and then focus on recovery going forward because I've been feeling run down. I don't need to go to 683, just save it for the platform. Yeah, good technique. I just wanted to make sure I held it at the top because as hard as the gym is, sometimes it becomes difficult to hold it. And I just wanted to remember what holding it feels like. So that was 650 to 650, good. And then we have a 4x2. So I'm just gonna probably have like, I might fuck around and put 3 reds on there. Like I said, this prep is a little bit different. I can just feel the fatigue, so we'll see. I'll just keep it at 4 reds. It's just a 3x2 at RP 67. I can do this. So with me being 5 days out, I'm starting to do my water load and gut cut. Taking laxatives. Also drinking 2.5 gallons of water today. Increasing sodium. And then gotta also start packing. Honestly, the hardest part about doing IPF Worlds is the travel and balancing your water cut. Tomorrow I leave 3:30 p.m. And the problem with that is that my travel time is like, it's like basically 20 hours. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm supposed to get in 2.5 gallons of water, right? Because the water cut has already been initiated. So we're just gonna have to get creative. I'm probably just gonna have to be bothering the steward, the flight attendants for water. But right now, my diet has become a little bit more liquid. I'm gonna be consuming a lot of new items in order to hit my caloric intake so I could just flush everything out of my gut and then make it super easy so I potentially don't have to sauna whenever I get to Druskininkai, Lithuania. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. But with it being Thursday, I actually went shopping because what I like to do whenever I go to a new country for IPF Worlds is I like to bring a bunch of fits. And it's almost like a tradition of mine. I've been to 4 IPF Worlds now, so what I do is get a bunch of fits. And this time, I'm gonna be staying out there for like a full-blown week. And with that being said, I need fits for every single day. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I love clothes and I like to look a little bit more, flashy. So after I compete, I'm gonna try to be at every single event. So when I compete, I'm gonna be watching, I'm gonna be watching Cranon, I'm gonna be watching Jesus, I'm gonna be watching Amanda, I'm gonna be watching all the flex teams. And I just wanna kind of be more thankful and appreciative of being able to compete at a high level like this at IPF Worlds. So I'm gonna be spending the rest of the evening packing, and then you guys are gonna be seeing some dope ass fits whenever I post. But, oh man, it's honestly crazy. And this prep has gone by so fast. Let me put this up here. But the most difficult thing for me during this whole thing, honestly, is drinking all this goddamn water. Like, I knocked down 1 bottle, so like I think 3 bottles of this equals a gallon because it's 40 ounces. And then hopefully by the time I drive over to do this interview for Anaka, I should be a gallon in, and then I'll focus on getting the rest during the day. Check this out. So this is my shoe/trophy room. What I like to do is after every single meet that I do, really it's IPF and nationals, I like to get my singlets and put them in a case, not washed. So this one might have been washed because at the time, like I didn't really get into that. But all of these singlets are not washed. Like literally from the platform to the case, they are, where's the other one? That's right there. From the platform to the case, literally. So let me break it down. This is probably my most coveted one because this is my first ever world title. This was in 2019. I wore the SPD singlet whenever I was deadlifting. And then over here we have, I believe this is 2022 Nationals. This is the better singlet that I wore. This was our first ever singlet. I was wearing the prototype on the platform. Really good meet. Wasn't even sure if I was gonna compete, which is crazy. But that was a moment. I remember we had like the better commercial running while we were competing as well. This is 2021 Nationals. This was like my first meet outside of the IPF umbrella. This was probably outside of the 2019 IPF Worlds, this is probably the best that I felt on the platform. I felt like, I felt crazy on the platform. But yeah, that's a Titan singlet. Now this one over here is another SPD singlet. This is in 2021. So this is Sweden. Went back to Sweden. This was like after the pandemic and like, not the lockout, but just like the pandemic and everything being closed. Getting here was such a struggle because I had to get so much documentation. That was a difficult road to travel. And then this last one over here is the most recent one. This is my first meet back into the IPF umbrella. This is 2024 Powerlifting American Nationals, unofficial world record, and another SPD singlet. Literally, you can see like all the all the chalk and shit on there because from the platform, I literally put it in my bag, brought it back, and immediately put it in a case. And then we have some memorabilia. So I compete Tuesday, June 18th. If you're not following me on Instagram, I encourage you to follow me on Instagram because that's where I'm going to be posting the link to watch the event. I'm super excited. Training is done. Stress is all the way out. Body weight's where it needs to be, 188, a little bit too light. And then, 20-hour travel time to get to Druskin in Kai. But anyways, thank you guys for keeping up with this prep series. Next video, you're gonna see me step on the platform and do my motherfucking thing. I'm excited to compete for my next IPF World title. So thank you guys for watching this prep series. Thank you guys for watching this video. Like always, if you guys like today's video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Get better today.
Hey, get out on time, never standing on line. You wanna try me? First you better learn how to rhyme. I'm the pinnacle, that means I reign supreme, and I'm notorious. I'll crush you like a jelly bean.